About 2 feet from the action. We've pointed it out repeatedly. Yes, it's distracting. That was Stephen A. right behind Nick Nurse. Look how fired up he is. Okay. So these guys did a great job on that final sequence earlier.
Yes.
You were sitting a foot away from it. Tell us exactly what you saw.
I saw Tyrese Maxey get mugged, if I'm being totally honest. He got fouled at least 2 or 3 times. There's no reason on earth why that call shouldn't have been made. It wasn't made. Unfortunately for the Sixers, if you're a New York Knicks fan, it's not unfortunate. Dante DiVincenzo got another opportunity. He took advantage of it. And the New York Knicks are up 2-0 in this Eastern Conference Finals first round series. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening, to say the least. Epic game.
I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. After the game, Joel Embiid said, we're the better team. We're still going to win. What do you think?
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm very, very sorry. But I got to be, in all seriousness, guys, I got to tell you, I'm incredibly, just sitting that close to the action, I'm incredibly sad for Joel Embiid. I really am. His knee is wrapped up. Like, you see these guys with these ice bags on their knee after the games. That's how his knee was wrapped up during the game while he was on the court. The dude is on one leg and dropping 35, and you just find yourself imagining, my God, with Maxey looking the way that he's looking, clearly being the better of the 2-point guards. Jalen Brunson's an MVP candidate, top 5 MVP candidate as far as I'm concerned. But he has not been the best point guard in this series. It has been Tyrese Maxey, okay? And when you look at the way Tyrese Maxey is playing, if Joel Embiid were healthy, wow, you do find yourself saying, my Lord, what would you be able to do with him? And for him to be out on that court with one leg, walking by, I mean, I'm watching him the whole game, walk by me time and time again. Every time he walked by, his face was cringing. He was in just so much pain.
And that's the point. He walked by because he can't run. I agree with you. It's sad to watch.
I'm just going to say, I feel horrible for him, too, because he's a special talent.
Yep.
How many times are we going to sit up here and say, if Joel Embiid were healthy? It's a very common theme, and it's a tough conversation. Yeah. And it doesn't make people think that you hate Joel Embiid.
Right.
It's similar to Kawhi. It's little things where it's like, when is that time going to?
But I don't believe they're the better team, though. And the reason why I don't believe they're the better team is because not enough dudes for them step up when it counts most. And that's the problem. Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey is one thing. Should Tobias Harris be doing more? Should Reed be doing more? Should other guys be doing more? The answer is yes, and they haven't been, and that plays a role too.
To that end, though, because Legs and I were talking about this earlier. I'm like, all right, Philly's going home. Their role players going to step up, right?
Yep.
Maybe not.
Yeah. No, that's more guys on the Knicks are making winning plays, winning contributions when it's tight. You had some guys in the Sixers that really not contribute at all offensively. This was a 2-man show. To your point, man, I feel so sick for Embiid for this reason. He finally has that co-star that runs to the light, embraces the stage. It's obvious. Tyrese Maxey has a confidence level that's unflappable. And he is so special for Embiid to still not be 100% when he finally has that guy that he knows he's going to count on to step up in big moments, because he's had some guys shrink in that spot in the past. That's why I feel so bad for Embiid. I think he finally has that dude, and yet he's out there at 70%.
One other thing I want to ask you about in that moment. We played the sound. Nick Nurse says he was trying to call a timeout.
Yes.
We watched it over and over and over again. You were right there.
You're going to collapse in your chair with laughter.
Okay.
You know why they didn't see the timeout? My man Mark Shapiro, the former boss here, was blocking the referee's view.
He's standing up. I do see him standing up.
He was in the way.
Yeah.
He was in the way. He was in the way. Couldn't see him.
Oh, no.
He's calling a timeout from the angle because he's going crazy and all this stuff and blocking the view. That's what everybody's teasing him about. But I'm telling you this
That's
right
him.
now.
To be clear, that's him standing directly next to
That's right.
Nick Nurse.
And Mark Shapiro, the former boss here at ESPN, that's who I was at the game with courtside last night. That's my man. And he was blocking the view. So I'm sorry they didn't see him. It's unfortunate, but it happened.
But how demonstrative, to be
Jay,
clear?
do the demonstration.
Because
Jay got to do the demonstration.
I mean, yeah, that's him standing right there, literally over the shoulder.
I actually saw Stephen A. reach in and get a piece of Maxey, too.
It looked like that, but it didn't look like that. I was like that right
These guys said Nurse should have been more demonstrative. Run out onto the floor.
Yes, but what happened is
how loud was he?
It was electric.
How loud was he trying to get it?
He was trying to get it it, but here's the problem. When he was calling the timeout, remember, they get the steal, and then you kick it, and then you kick it to DiVincenzo. So he's like, but he's looking, and then he's looking again. And no, he got distracted by the action. He was trying to call a timeout, but in the same breath, he was looking at the play as well. And that's what
That's why I go back to
Jay's
spacing, though. When you have 4 of the 5 players below the free throw line and your guard is extended on your side of the floor, you got to recognize that in that moment and say, okay, I got to call that timeout before the ball is inbound.
By the time he got demonstrative trying to get it, the ball was loose. It was dislodged. He's not getting it at that point. That's why I said it was lukewarm at first, because he was watching the play himself, to your point. You've got to run toward either official, the half-court official or the baseline official, and he didn't really do that.
Especially in that environment because the guarding is electric. And referees can get caught up in the action because at that particular moment in time, you want the players to decide. You don't want anything else to infiltrate the proceedings, per se. And that's something that you're watching out for. But Tyrese Maxey got mugged. I have to admit it. He did get mugged, and there should have been a foul call. And the fact that there was no foul call should be problematic.
This was a physical ball game. I got you, though, but late game situations, contrast to the other game we saw last night, Denver knew exactly what they were doing.
Away from
By the way,
first take.
I really, really do look good.
You're popping.
Yes, you do.
There's a glow about you.
If I should say that myself, it really is nice. I never.
You want to guarantee you get flowers, send them to yourself.
Right. We were all thinking it, so I'm glad that you said it.
Were we?
But let's the other game, the Lakers. I mean, it was another. I mean, it was as good a night. You actually sent a note saying that this might have been the best NBA doubleheader that you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I was on the note that you sent, and there's no way to disagree. Give us your quick overall take on Nuggets Lakers, a little taste of what you will have in 8 minutes.
Listen, the Lakers had a 20-point lead. They blew it. Denver came back, took it from them, but it was still an electric atmosphere in Denver. Anthony Davis has shown up. LeBron James has showed up. Last night, D'Angelo Russell showed up. And Denver still said, we got y'all. And that winning shot, I mean, Dan, what can you say about Jamal Murray? He's something special. Remember, he averaged 32 a game against them in the Western Conference Finals last year. He was the star of the Western Conference Finals last year. The brother's big time, Jamal Murray. And when him and Jokic are flowing together, they're virtually unbeatable. And last night, this is the thing. It's one thing to overcome a 20-point deficit. It's another thing to do it with relative ease. Like, we're not worried. We're the superior team to the Lakers. They bully ball everybody else because they're bigger than most teams in the league. They're not bigger than us. We're not worried. And they came and just took it. And remember, 20-point lead, and in the span of 10 minutes, it was gone. 10 minutes. They were up 20 in the second half, not the first half, the second half, and got it taken from them.
The problem these guys have had with it all morning long is that they let Jokic beat them. That Darvin Ham said, we're going to single him up and leave Anthony Davis out there even when he's clearly worn down. Do you think they should have done everything in their power to take Jokic out of the game?
The brilliance of me is that I know I'm not. They are.
Right.
And I just steal knowledge from them.
Yeah.
If that's what they say, we're going to go with that. I don't think that you should single cover. You can single cover Jokic. You shouldn't do that. That's not something you should do. I mean, clearly. But the flip side to it is this. Denver can shoot. Michael Porter can shoot. Jamal Murray can shoot. Even Gordon can make some open shots. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope can make it. And then they're going like this. Jokic's probably going to beat us from 2. Those brothers will beat us from 3. Okay, we might want to eat that. That's the only reason I can side with it, but I understand where these two guys are coming from.
Monaco has been on your side all morning long. Quick final word.
Wow, what a series by the Knicks.
As good as it gets.
I'll see you shortly.
Why isn't it an hour?
Talk to JD.
An hour.
5 minutes and 40 seconds from now, Steve.